What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, another interesting video for you here on the channel, how I'd book the World Heavyweight Championship for the next 2 years. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, another interesting video for you here on the channel, how I book the World Heavyweight Championship for the next year. 2 times. I'm doing 2 different bookings. The reason for that is because, one, it's a longer video, funner video. I almost did it 3 times, thought that was overkill. The other reason is because there is one certain factor, and I hope you can hear my table, me hitting it, because that kind of actually hurt my hand on my pinky. I don't know why, but there's a big factor, and if this big factor happens, everything is changed. So we're going to go through how I would book the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, here's the thing. I am booking personally, but a lot of it is true predictions. Like, for example, what I think WWE could do if certain scenarios happen. This is me mostly saying personally what I would do in one factor, and if that factor happens, this is how it should go, and this is what I could see WWE doing. Now, there is what if scenarios of this could also be a person, this could also be a person, why this guy isn't the person, why this guy is the person. So we will go through that, and I will explain it. I do have to say, to be honest with you, part of me is also putting in other factors, and it's just a whole mumbo jumbo mess. So we'll talk about it. Let's get started. The first one is Seth Rollins versus CM Punk happening at either Royal Rumble or Saturday night's main event. Now, I say either or because there's a factor that depends on this, and that is the return of Roman Reigns and when they're going to end, honestly, the CM Punk kind of trilogy. Because in my opinion, Roman needs to interfere with a match with CM Punk. I think it makes sense. I think Roman and Seth is big enough for a WrestleMania match that they don't need a championship. They could have a championship. I know a lot of people predict that, but WWE was fine with it last year without a championship. So at the end of the day, they don't need that championship. So I have been booking that it happens at John Cena's final opponent because obviously that's probably big enough to sell tickets, but you should really stack the card. So ultimately, CM Punk does win this, and I don't know if it will happen there or Royal Rumble because that's so big of a show and this is such a big match. I also want to say that I am debating on this one being at Royal Rumble because how would Roman, Seth, or Punk go into the Royal Rumble, like after? Like, obviously Punk wouldn't if he wins the title, but does Roman? Does Seth? I don't know. And that's a worry that I kind of keep thinking, and I don't think they will. Maybe it's the start of a breakup between Breaker and like Bronson Reed, where Seth ultimately kicks out Bronson Reed out the Royal Rumble for him to join. That's a factor that I'm going to throw out there, but I ultimately believe it will be CM Punk winning that championship before Royal Rumble. Maybe during Royal Rumble. Maybe after Royal Rumble. I don't know. I do believe, though, because if it's after Royal Rumble, no, because you could still set it up, I guess, with Elimination Chamber. Who goes against CM Punk? And that's the biggest thing that I don't know. That's the only thing that I could see Seth holding this till the WrestleMania season, or till WrestleMania, because Seth has a lot of stories with LA Knight, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. There's a lot of viable options to go against him. With CM Punk, it's a little harder to see. So in this scenario, we have CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I have to say, this was very hard to pick who goes against CM Punk. I don't have it here right above my head, but the people that I debated was a heel Jey Uso, a heel Sami Zayn, Gunther, for example. I think Gunther retiring John Cena, winning the Royal Rumble, going after CM Punk, that's not out. That's not a big shock in my opinion. And I think whoever this would be has to win the chamber. And I have Drew McIntyre winning that chamber. Now, for me, I think the Royal Rumble winner would win and go against Cody Rhodes, aka Randy Orton. I think that makes sense. That's how they go. They didn't do it last year that way, and I think they can say, will main event WrestleMania, so they still save that and still main events WrestleMania. So with CM Punk as champion, I've been booking for my WrestleMania predictions Sami Zayn to go against him. Doesn't make sense with the SmackDown change. Now, Drew McIntyre is on SmackDown, but I could see a world where at the end of the day, which they kind of did it with a gauntlet match last second, or even previous stuff with, who am I thinking? God, there's somebody who I'm thinking. He just makes a jump. He makes a jump and goes to, I mean, you can say even when Cody won and went to SmackDown against Roman's title, I guess. But I got to be honest with you. To me, it makes sense. It makes 100% sense that Drew McIntyre, if he would win, I mean, he goes against CM Punk and gets that title. I think you're setting up, yes, a revisit of a rivalry. Maybe people say, oh, we've already seen this before. It's not great. But Drew McIntyre as a heel against CM Punk just makes sense. I don't know who else you could go other than Gunther. And I don't want Gunther to be there because I think Gunther goes against a Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Other than Cody Rhodes, who do you say Drew McIntyre goes against? Should be for a championship. Maybe Jacob Fatu. I don't see it right now, and I think a championship makes sense. So this isn't what I'm booking actually for the future and what I think WWE will do. I don't think we should go back to that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre right away, but to be honest with you, out of all the options, out of all the heels, maybe you get a heel Randy Orton, maybe there's a I mean, you could just have CM Punk and Seth Rollins all the way to WrestleMania. I don't know what it is. Who does Roman then go against? There's a lot of what ifs, but I have Drew McIntyre. I'm trying to think of other heels. Like, who else goes against CM Punk? Braun Breaker, but I think he'll be stuck with something else. Like, I don't think that'll happen. With a year from now, and this is only for 1 year, I have Drew McIntyre as champion going against Jacob Fatu. Now, this is a big match, and I think it's a start of a Jacob Fatu title reign that we should have. And I think by 2026, he should be a world champion. The two people I think that should be a world champion is either Braun Breaker or Jacob Fatu, and I think it will be either or. I don't think they'll both be champion at the same time, because in my opinion, they should both go for World Heavyweight Championship. Maybe Jacob Fatu goes for Undisputed Championship. I think more than likely it'll be the World Heavyweight Championship. And, I mean, this could be even Cody Rhodes going against Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. I could even throw that out there. You're going to notice this with a lot of my predictions because right now we don't know what the pay-per-views are for 2026. There's a Scotland one. We could have Drew win there. If there's another UK one, we could have Drew win there. If there is some personal town one, like how Kansas City, or not Kansas City, St. Louis with Randy Orton happened, you could have people going against people there. I mean, we don't know, but we do know SummerSlam 2026. And to be honest with you, these title reigns should end on big stages and, pay-per-views. I don't think they'll lose on, especially Drew McIntyre. I don't think he'll lose on a Raw. I can see Jey Uso doing it. Don't think Drew McIntyre. So I have Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu in probably one of the biggest matches for Jacob Fatu's career for a title. And I have him losing. I think this is your King of the Ring winner probably. Now, I do believe Drew McIntyre could go against others, and it could make him go to a face turn if it's Braun Breaker, for example. I don't think that way, and I actually originally had Braun Breaker here, chose not to go that way. Breaker winning King of the Ring potentially, I think could be a possibility, but I think Seth and Breaker, that match to me happens at SummerSlam, or it's Breaker versus Lesnar. Those are my two matches for Breaker. I don't think it'll be a title thing. Maybe Seth holds the title till SummerSlam, but I really do believe that it'll be either Seth versus Breaker because Seth lost to Roman at SummerSlam, or it'll be Breaker retiring Brock Lesnar in his state of Minnesota. That's what I think. But instead, I really do think it's one of those three, because to me, those are the three big stars against Drew McIntyre we want to see. I'm cooking. Tell me I'm not cooking. So I do instead go LA Knight winning Money in the Bank, which I originally was making this video thinking, oh my God, I got to think of Money in the Bank potentially cashing in, whatever. No, because for some reason they're having it after SummerSlam to make it up to New Orleans. Make that make sense. So we have Knight winning Money in the Bank, which I think will be that, or Dominic Mysterio is my long shot answers right now. And then you have Breaker versus Lesnar happening to retire Brock Lesnar in a Paul Heyman with Braun Breaker type of thing. And I don't want Seth and Braun Breaker to break up just yet, to be honest with you. So this is the first booking. Second booking is booking that I don't 100% believe in, but I see why people would say it. And that is Seth Rollins as champion versus Roman Reigns. Makes sense. Roman wins the Rumble. They redo the moment from 2015, and they have everyone screaming Roman Reigns. Roman finally winning the title and beating Seth with that title, which that's the thing. I think Roman winning is big enough that they don't need the title, but in this booking, we're going to have it because I think this booking right here is probably going to be way more interesting. I'm not booking title reigns like how they go against each other without the pay-per-views, knowing who's going to go against who. I could just throw up, a pay-per-view every month and say that's who they're going to go against. Oh, that's who they're going against. It doesn't really make sense. I'm going to go when the title changes. My only worry on this is, one, Roman deserves part-time because he's such a legend that it makes sense that he wouldn't be here for these title matches, and we would see something that happened with John Cena, for example. That's why I think I love this Seth Rollins title reign right now, because it makes sense. There's a lot of things going on, and he's on television every week, other than the fake injury angle. So will that happen with Roman? Probably not. But you still have Roman Reigns winning the World Heavyweight Championship, which is great to have him on there. Now, what happens after, and who dethrones him? Are we going to get another 3-year, 2-year, 1-year reign from Roman Reigns, something crazy like that? Not exactly. And I actually debated on just throwing out a PLE in the middle that he loses at. That's not what we're going to do, though. Roman Reigns opens up what I have to say, one of the biggest potentials and candidates. There is so much you could do with Roman Reigns as a champion, in my opinion, with his past, with potential, with new up-and-comers, and to be honest with you, the World Heavyweight Championship and on Raw. Gunther is the match for me. I know that this is probably obviously to me, this is a dream match. This is probably the last time we would ever be able to get this. Obviously not. I mean, you could do WrestleMania matches with whatever, but for a title, for SummerSlam, this is as high can go. Like, these are two guys. You have a babyface Roman and a huge heel Gunther, who could be coming off beating Brock Lesnar. Like, I could see that happening. But to me, Roman has to lose early. I would think if Roman Reigns won this title, he would lose it at a major PLE, and that major PLE has to be SummerSlam. And I would say even he gets maybe on Money in the Bank night cashed in on. Like, it's one or the other, and I'm going with that. But there's a lot of candidates you can go against. Let's talk about Sami Zayn. There's so much stuff there. If Sami does turn heel in the future, there is so much material you could have of a babyface Roman going against a heel Sami Zayn that it could work. It could 100% work. Gunther, obviously, I talked about top heel going against a top babyface. Jacob Fatu is the one that I was debating on originally having, but I already had it with Drew McIntyre's match. And to be honest with you, Gunther, I think, could go to SmackDown and could go against the Universal title and go after the Universal title. If that is the case, to me, you probably go Fatu here, right? Or McIntyre, or Punk. Like Braun Breaker, I could see again retiring Lesnar, going against Seth Rollins. It would be hard to see him here, but that's a WrestleMania main event in the future, if anything, too, for a championship, too. My God. CM Punk's interesting because I think if you don't give him the title reign in this scenario, like you're not, after he slays Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns and Punk is a match that a lot of people wanted, and it could be the SummerSlam 2026 match. I would not be shocked if that is the case, and it could be for the championship. Punk finally wins. Now, who's your heel in that scenario? Couldn't tell you. Drew McIntyre is the one I keep coming back to because Roman and Drew, that's a match that we have to see again at some point. It's like why Drew is so Drew now. And for a title, for the World Heavyweight Championship, I would love it personally. This is the last for this one. I'm going to make a Universal title video here soon. You should see it soon on the channel because in real time, I'm recording it next. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about these bookings, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.